Welcome. Welcome to Science, Health and Healing Encyclopedia of Children's Health Core and Ali Academy. I'm Dr. Majid Ali. This video, gut fermentation, carbohydrate dyspepsia. Here's an interesting letter from a British physician published in Royal Society of Medicine Journal, 1992, volume 83, page 1992. Quote, when I was serving in the RCAF in the mid-50s, a fighter pilot saw me with symptoms of intestinal carbohydrate dyspepsia to such an extent that he could not tolerate high altitude flying. He gave a typical history. I took him off bread and other cereals, potatoes, for 2 days. He was then to fly again. He did so and was very much better. I kept him on the same regimen for 2 weeks and then added freshly baked bread, then other cereals, and finally potatoes. Over a further fortnight, he did not consult me again. Now, the writer attributes the problems of this British Air Force pilot to intestinal coliform microbes. Now, this is in year 1992. I find it interesting that I published my monograph, Altered States of Bowel Ecology, back in 1987, and before that, I had presented papers on the American Academy of Environmental Medicine for some years, and I had been writing about it. It seems very interesting to me that if you're a mainstream doctor, this doctor is obviously a very wise physician, a very thoughtful physician. He's solved the Air Force pilot's problem expeditiously. He clearly recognizes what bread and potatoes can do to the bowel. But since he's a mainstream doctor, his mind only goes to coliform. E. coli is a well-known member of that species of bacteria. They're normally present in the intestine in everyone. The reason I thought I'd do this short program is to make one point. You know, when you're brought up as a mainstream doctor, you are a Pasteur's disciple. You can only think about the diseases that come from outside. So his idea of coliform, he cannot understand that coliform represent a very small part of the stomach flora, the oral flora, the intestinal flora, and the colonic flora. Most of the fermenting microbes belong to the yeast group: Mucor, Aspergillus, Candida, Cephalosporium. So it's important, and I think it is useful to recognize that many thoughtful physicians in the mainstream do observe natural phenomena. It is just that they are so controlled by the mainstream thinking that they cannot think about fermentation and altered states of gut ecology. Please forward this YouTube segment to your contacts. This is part of my large channel on gut fermentation, including some segments about children's developmental challenges, swallowing difficulties. There's an article that I posted on kids123.org on Dr. Ali's anti-gut fermentation protocol. There is another article which is about child development specialist versus a wise grandmother. You really got to see that to understand what gut fermentation is doing to our children, toddlers, teenagers. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much.